Welcome back to another episode of our cloud journey. Today we are going to discuss about Google Cloud Resource Hierarchy. And before we understand resource hierarchy, we need to understand what is the problem with cloud computing. For example, you have different teams who might be creating different applications or different resources on the cloud. And how do you govern all those things centrally at an organization level? How you control with different policies, different IAM permissions, and all the organizational related security aspects. Well, let's discuss what Google offers to mitigate that. Now let's discuss about Google Cloud Resource Hierarchy. And if you have signed up as an organization, for example, I have used my domain which is daslearning.in, and beneath that we can have different folders. And what is a folder? Folder is basically a logical container which can contain another folder or a project. And why we need a folder? For example, there might be different business units or maybe different apps or applications or maybe some other need. It can be anything for you. We can separate out different workloads depending on that. Maybe depending on business units, depending on application, team, environment, anything like that. And we have another entity which is called a project. In Google Cloud, what is a project? Project is again another logical container which will directly contain your cloud resources, and all the billing will happen at your project level. Starting with your organization or your domain, which is your root node. Underneath that, we can directly create projects, which is obviously not a good practice. We should have different folders according to our need. Then we can have subfolders if we need. And top to down, that means vertically top to down, we can go maximum 10 level deeper. And horizontally, you can create many folders whatever you need. There is no such limitation. Now we have segregated our folders according to your need. When we talk about a folder, why we need a folder? Obviously segregation is there. What's other benefit is there? We can have different policies or constraints applied at different folder level. And different IAM roles or permissions can be granted at different folder level. Maybe we have two different application team, application 1 and application 2. And if we provide maybe developer 1 team to application 1 and we do not provide any permission to app 2, they will not be able to perform any activity on the app 2. So role level or role-based access control can be controlled at folder level as well as any organizational constraints. For example, I put a policy, nobody under this particular application will be able to create a virtual machine with public IP. I can do that. So centrally controlling or governing becomes easy. And when we talk about role mapping, the inheritance goes from top to bottom. As you see this arrow, what I mean by that? If someone is having any particular role at an organization level, that will automatically be inherited to the child resources. This is just a quick overview how it looks like and what's the purpose of segregating this. Now let's understand the billing part of it. When we talk about billing, and if we register as an organization, we'll have at least one billing account. It can be online using a credit card or it can be invoiced. Invoiced means bills will be sent to your registered address, and obviously the verification process is different. And once you create your billing account, whether online or invoiced, that can be tagged to your organization. And while creating your projects, we need to link to any of that billing accounts. There can be multiple billing accounts depending on your need, and one project will be tied to one billing account, not multiple. But one billing account can contain multiple projects. At organization level or folder level, there is no such billing. And this is just the theory. Let's do some hands-on. I'm into my Google Cloud Console, and let's change the context to my root node, which is my domain. And if you want to check what is the organization structure is present, you can click on this all button over here, and whatever folder is there, you can expand that. Underneath, if you have any subfolder, you can also expand that, and you can check whatever project is created. And we have another window where we can check the same thing. If we click on the hamburger menu, let's go to IAM and admin, hover your mouse and let's go to manage resources. And once we click on manage resources, we have the root node, which is daslearning.in, and any of the folders, subfolders, projects, anything like that. We can directly create project folder directly from here, and let's do that. Let me create a folder and let's go with the standard Google Cloud folder. And obviously you'll need folder creation permission, and let me give it a name, maybe app1, and where you want to create that particular folder. If it is a subfolder, I can click on browse and I can choose another folder, but I'm directly creating under my root node, which is dashlearning.in, and let's click on create. It will take a while, and sometimes after the creation you might not see that, and what we need to do, we can refresh directly from the browser. Now here we go, we have app1 folder created. Let's create a project underneath that. Let's click on create project button over here, and let's give it a name, any name whatever you prefer, and where you want to create it. Let's click on this browse button, and obviously the organization is selected. Let's click on browse. Somehow that app is not coming, maybe we need to do another refresh. Let's click on cancel, it happens sometimes. Let's click on create project again, and hopefully that will appear. And let's browse, and here we go. Now we see app1. Click on that. So we are under organization dashlearning.in and we are under app1. Let's click on create, and you need to refresh once again in order to view that particular project. Let's expand. Now let's expand the app1, and project should be there. And if we want to check the billing part, we can click on this action menu or 3 vertical dots, click on billing, and it will take you to the billing. So this is our project. We can click on this Google Cloud icon at the top left, and this is selected. You can change the context to other project folder or your root node. And let's create a fresh user for my domain and provide access to the newly created folder. Let's do that. I'm into my admin console. Whatever identity provider you are using, you can create a new user. Let's click on add new user. So maybe a test user, and the other parameters, if you want, automatically generate strong password. So let's go with that. I'll delete this one after the exercise. Add new user. I can copy the password. So I've copied it. Click on done, and here is our test user. I'll need the email ID to log in. Let's take this particular email ID, and obviously the better approach will be to assign this user to a group and provide the RBAC or role-based access. But just for demonstration, let's do add this app1, and I'll directly assign the permission to the user. So I'm into that app1 folder. Let's click on this hamburger menu. Let's go to IAM and admin and go to IAM, the first option. You'll see all the existing roles might be inherited from the top resource. If you scroll to the right, you'll see those are inherited from the top, as we have seen in our diagram. And let's do this grant access. Click on that. This is my user, and whatever role you prefer, and maybe storage admin, just for example. Might be this user will be dealing with storage related stuffs, and that is it. Click on save. Now what I'll do, I'll open up a new incognito window, and let's type in console.cloud.google.com, and I will use that email ID. Let me paste it over here. Click on next. I need to enter my password, which I've already copied in the previous step, and now click on next. I understand that, so I need to change my password, which is good. Change password, and currently it is loading, and I need to agree to the terms and conditions. Check this box, agree and continue. Now this is our home page, but let's click on this select a project at the top. You need to change your organization, and here I need to select my domain. Under all, you will see that particular project is there, which was underneath that particular app1 folder. Let's click on that. Now let's click on this create a VM. I do not have that permission basically. As we have provided access for this user to a particular folder, whatever underneath that, that means whatever projects, it is able to see that only one project, whereas my admin account has access to all of the projects. And if I go to all, you'll see there are many projects, many folders here. And that is a good practice. If you segregate, as we remember from our presentation, we can control the accesses, policies, everything centrally, and the user will have access only to the designated projects or folders where he is supposed to have access. And yeah, let's click on cancel. You'll see when I click on create compute VM or a virtual machine, I need to have these particular permissions. And if I go to storage, cloud storage, if I go to buckets, you'll see I have this create button enabled. Let's click on create. I need to provide a name, any name, whatever you prefer. Click on continue. I want this to be a regional, not multi-region. US East 1 maybe, that's fine. Continue. And rest of the things default is fine with me. Continue. Soft delete I do not want. And let's click on create. As we didn't give any other permission other than the storage admin, this particular user is able to create the bucket or whatever storage activities it can perform. This is how we can control everything centrally using organization administrator access, and rest of the users or application team have access to their designated projects or resources. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Meet you in some next episodes. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned.